So I realize this offset section might be a little bit confusing at first. You can see it's coming through, then it's going north, and it's coming through, then it's going north, and it's cutting through again. It might be a little confusing what you're looking at here. But the point is you should be able to look at this cutting plane line, this top and side view, and the isometric view to see the whole picture and be able to draw the section view on your own using nothing but construction lines. But again, that might be a little confusing, so I wanted to show you in an Autodesk so you can kind of see. So we got this shape here. It's cut through at a certain place, certain location. It's cut at a couple of places. And there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. But we also need to look at the inside. Okay, so to do that, what I want to do is I want to look at the top view, and I want to, let's turn this sideways. I want to look at our cutting plane line. What's going to cut through at these locations? It's going to cut all the way through our object. And so what happens if we do? So if we cut that out, what does it look like? So if you look at it back and forth, if you cut that out from that cutting plane line, what would it look like? And so the first thing is you need to realize what that cutting plane will do. Well, it'll cut through at these locations, okay? Well, that's what it'll look like if you cut it there. But what will it look like from the front, or what will the section view look like? Well, first off, we've got a few shaded regions, clearly. We have a few things that are cut out, and we have a few hollow regions. Well, how could you tell that these were hollow? Well, hopefully you could have told by this hidden line right here. Well, you say, well, there's only one hidden line, and there's two holes. And I'd say, well, yeah, of course there are. Because look, they line up. So if I click on this hole, you can see that it lines up with the other hole. They're in the exact same location. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference from the side view. Okay? So hold on, let's go ahead and relight this up and then see what happens if we hit Control Z and put our back. Oh, well, it doesn't fix it. But these holes line up from the side. Of course they do. And unfortunately, we couldn't tell. We couldn't keep it unlocked if we turned off our section view here. But that's what those holes are. And again, hopefully you could have seen this hole and what it represented. Looking back, well, what was it? Well, clearly it lined up with these two object lines because there's no hidden lines telling us this hole ended anywhere. And it's the same height here as here. And you should have been able to tell that this hidden line right here represented this hole, this big ovular hole, I guess was what you would call it. But again, you should be able to look at the top view in the cutting plane line and see that if you have this cutting plane line here, what it would do is make this section from the front. And again, of course, hollow areas would be left alone, like these, and then shaded regions like these would have section lines drawn over them. And you should be able to figure out the heights and the widths of all of these views, all of these parts, through your construction lines from your top and side view. So hopefully this video helped make it clear how to sketch the section view and where to begin at the very least.